Silence can often be overshadowed by the noise of our thoughts, words, and actions. In our fast-paced modern world, the constant chatter from talking, texting, and posting on social media fills every nook and cranny of our daily lives. We find ourselves engulfed in a whirlwind of information, opinions, and distractions, making it increasingly difficult to find moments of genuine peace and clarity. Yet, amidst this cacophony, the ancient wisdom of Buddhism offers a compelling reminder of the profound power and significance of silence. Buddhism, with its deep roots in mindfulness and inner peace, teaches us that silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a powerful state of being. It is a sanctuary where we can retreat from the external noise and reconnect with our inner selves. Silence provides a space for reflection, self-awareness, and mindful living, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and compassion. It encourages us to listen, not just to the world around us, but more importantly, to the whispers of our own hearts and minds. In an era dominated by constant communication, the concept of embracing silence can seem foreign or even uncomfortable. We are conditioned to fill every silent moment with activity, whether it's checking our phones, engaging in small talk, or keeping the TV on as background noise. However, Buddhism reminds us that there are specific times when silence is not only beneficial, but essential. This journey through the spiritual teachings of Buddhism will illuminate 5 crucial situations where the power of silence can lead to profound transformation. Imagine for a moment the impact of choosing silence in the face of anger. Anger is a powerful and often destructive emotion that can cloud our judgment and lead to actions we later regret. By embracing silence when we are angry, we create a buffer between our intense emotions and our reactions. This pause allows us to reflect on the root causes of our anger and to respond with mindfulness rather than impulsiveness. Silence becomes a tool for self-control, helping us to navigate our emotions with greater clarity and preventing harm to ourselves and others. Similarly, consider the effects of silence when confronted with gossip and slander. Engaging in or even listening to harmful speech can perpetuate negativity and discord. By choosing silence, we refuse to contribute to the spread of hurtful words and create a space for more compassionate and constructive communication. This mindful practice aligns with the Buddhist principle of right speech, which emphasizes the importance of speaking truthfully and beneficially. Silence can serve as a powerful mediator. It allows us to step back from the heat of the moment, listen actively to the other party, and approach the situation with empathy and understanding. Silence helps to break the cycle of reactivity, paving the way for peaceful and constructive resolutions. It is not about avoiding confrontation, but about creating a space for mindful dialogue. Witnessing the suffering of others can often leave us feeling helpless, unsure of what to say or do. Buddhism teaches that sometimes the most compassionate response is silence. This silence is not an absence of support, but a profound presence that conveys empathy and understanding. It provides a safe space for the suffering individual to express their emotions without fear of judgment or interruption. Lastly, silence in our own moments of suffering can be a source of deep healing. It allows us to sit with our pain, to process our emotions without the pressure to explain or justify them to others. In this quiet space, we can cultivate self-compassion and resilience, recognizing that our suffering, like all things, is transient and interconnected with the broader human experience. Through this exploration of the 5 crucial situations where silence is recommended in Buddhism, we will uncover the ancient pearls of wisdom that can inspire us to lead a more mindful, harmonious, and purposeful life. By embracing the serenity of silence, we can find solutions to our life problems and move closer to inner peace and enlightenment. The power of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as merely the absence of noise, but in the teachings of Buddhism, it is far more than that. Silence is a profound state of being, an intentional and powerful practice that can transform our lives. It is not about passivity or indifference. Rather, it is about being present, attuned, and fully aware. In this state of silence, we find the space to listen, reflect, and connect deeply with ourselves and the world around us. Thich Nhat Hanh, a revered Vietnamese Zen master, beautifully encapsulates the essence of silence. He says, "Silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light." This powerful analogy highlights the vital role that silence plays in our mental and emotional well-being. Just as light is necessary for plants to grow and thrive, silence is crucial for our minds to find clarity and peace. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, our minds are often cluttered with a constant stream of thoughts, words, and distractions. This incessant noise can prevent us from experiencing true inner peace and self-awareness. Silence, however, offers a gateway to mindfulness, allowing us to quiet the external and internal noise and tune into the subtler, more profound aspects of our being. Through silence, we can listen not only to the world around us, but also to the whispers of our own hearts and minds. Practicing silence can lead to greater self-awareness, as it creates a space for introspection and self-reflection. When we embrace silence, we give ourselves the opportunity to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This practice can reveal the underlying patterns and motivations that drive our behavior, helping us to understand ourselves better and make more conscious choices. Silence allows us to connect with our inner wisdom and gain insights that might otherwise be drowned out by the noise of daily life. Moreover, silence fosters a sense of intentional presence. In a world that often equates busyness with productivity and success, choosing to be silent can be a radical act of mindfulness. It is a deliberate decision to be fully present in the moment, to engage with life in a deeper and more meaningful way. This intentional presence is not about withdrawing from the world, but about engaging with it more authentically and compassionately. In moments of silence, we can attune ourselves to the present moment, experiencing life with greater clarity and depth. This heightened awareness can enhance our relationships as we become more attentive listeners and more empathetic companions. Silence allows us to be truly present with others, to hear not just their words, but the emotions and intentions behind them. It fosters a deeper connection and understanding, paving the way for more meaningful and harmonious interactions. Furthermore, silence can be a powerful tool in navigating life's challenges. In times of stress, conflict, or emotional turmoil, silence provides a sanctuary where we can find calm and clarity. It gives us the space to pause, reflect, and respond mindfully rather than react impulsively. By embracing silence, we can approach difficult situations with greater equanimity and wisdom, reducing the likelihood of regretful words or actions. The power of silence lies in its ability to transform our relationship with ourselves and the world. It is a practice that cultivates mindfulness, self-awareness, and intentional presence, enabling us to live more authentically and harmoniously. As Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, silence is as essential as air and light. It is a vital component of a balanced and fulfilling life. By embracing the profound state of silence, we can uncover a deeper sense of peace and clarity, leading to a more mindful and purposeful existence. Situation 1. Silence in anger. Anger is a powerful emotion that can often lead to destructive outcomes if not managed wisely. The wisdom of Buddhism teaches us that in moments of anger, silence is our greatest ally. The practice of remaining silent when we are angry allows us to harness the transformative power of mindfulness, self-awareness, and empathy, ultimately leading to more constructive and compassionate interactions. Silence as wisdom. The teaching, "Always be silent when angry," encapsulates profound wisdom. When anger takes hold, our judgment can become clouded, and our words and actions can be driven by intense, uncontrolled emotions. In these moments, choosing silence gives us the space to regain our composure and clarity, preventing us from saying or doing things we might later regret. Destructive emotion. Anger often arises from attachment, aversion, and ignorance. When we cling to our desires or strongly reject certain situations, we set the stage for anger to flourish. Ignorance of the impermanent and interconnected nature of all things can further fuel this destructive emotion. By recognizing these roots, we can understand why silence is such a powerful antidote to anger. It allows us to step back from these attachments and aversions, creating room for a more balanced perspective. Space for reflection. One of the greatest benefits of silence in moments of anger is the space it provides for reflection. Instead of reacting impulsively, silence offers a pause, a moment to breathe and reflect on the source of our anger. This pause can help us understand the underlying causes of our emotions, whether they stem from unmet expectations, perceived injustices, or deep-seated fears. With this understanding, we can address the root of our anger more effectively. Preventing harm. Anger often leads to harsh words and actions that can cause significant harm to ourselves and others. By choosing silence, we create a buffer that shields against these harmful outbursts. Silence acts as a protective barrier, preventing us from causing unnecessary pain and preserving the integrity of our relationships. It allows us to maintain our composure and respond with greater mindfulness and compassion. The Two Arrows story. A well-known Buddhist parable, the story of the two arrows, illustrates the importance of practicing silence in the face of anger. The first arrow represents the initial pain or suffering we experience, which is often unavoidable. The second arrow symbolizes the additional suffering we inflict on ourselves through our reaction to the first arrow. By choosing silence, we avoid shooting that second arrow, thereby reducing unnecessary suffering and promoting inner peace. Mindfulness and self-awareness. Silence is a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness and self-awareness. In moments of anger, silence allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without immediate judgment or expression. This mindful observation helps us gain insight into the nature of our anger, enabling us to manage it more effectively. Through silence, we develop greater emotional resilience and the ability to navigate our feelings with wisdom and grace. Empathy and understanding. Practicing silence in the face of anger fosters deeper empathy and understanding. When we are silent, we can listen more attentively to the perspectives and emotions of others. This compassionate listening helps break the cycle of reactivity and opens the door to more constructive dialogue. Silence allows us to move beyond our own anger and connect with the underlying needs and concerns of others, paving the way for reconciliation and mutual understanding. The practice of silence in moments of anger is a profound teaching in Buddhism that offers numerous benefits. It provides a space for reflection, prevents harm, reduces unnecessary suffering, and fosters mindfulness, self-awareness, and empathy. By embracing silence as a response to anger, we can transform this powerful emotion into an opportunity for personal growth, deeper understanding, and more harmonious relationships. Through silence, we learn to navigate anger with wisdom and compassion, leading to a more peaceful and balanced life. Situation 2. Silence in gossip and slander. Gossip and slander are pervasive forms of communication that can cause significant harm and spread negativity. Buddhism teaches the principle of ethical speech, urging us to always be silent in the face of gossip and slander. This practice aligns with the core Buddhist value of right speech, which emphasizes speaking truthfully, kindly, and beneficially. By choosing silence in these situations, we not only protect ourselves from engaging in harmful behavior, but also promote a culture of compassion and understanding. Ethical speech. The directive to always be silent in the face of gossip and slander is rooted in the broader concept of ethical speech. Ethical speech involves being mindful of the impact our words have on others and choosing to speak in ways that are constructive rather than destructive. When confronted with gossip and slander, silence serves as a powerful tool to uphold these ethical standards. Right speech principle. One of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism is the principle of right speech. This principle encourages us to use our words in ways that are truthful, kind, and beneficial. Gossip and slander violate this principle by spreading falsehoods, causing harm, and fostering negativity. By remaining silent, we adhere to the tenets of right speech and contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate society. Harmful communication. Gossip and slander are not just idle talk. They are forms of harmful communication that can have serious consequences. They can damage reputations, erode trust, and create discord within communities. Engaging in gossip and slander perpetuates negative emotions such as jealousy, resentment, and malice. Choosing silence in these moments prevents the spread of harmful words and mitigates their impact. Self-reflection and growth. Silence in the face of gossip and slander provides an opportunity for introspection and personal growth. It allows us to examine our own motivations and intentions. Are we drawn to gossip out of envy or a desire to feel superior? Do we engage in slander to harm someone or to align with a particular group? By reflecting on these questions, we can gain insights into our own behavior and make conscious efforts to change. Promoting compassion. Non-participation in gossip and slander not only benefits us personally, but also sends a powerful message to those around us. When we choose not to engage in or listen to harmful talk, we signal our disapproval of such behavior. This silent stance can encourage others to reconsider their words and actions, promoting a more compassionate and respectful environment. Choosing silence in the face of gossip and slander also fosters a sense of empathy and understanding. Instead of judging or condemning others based on rumors and hearsay, we can cultivate a more compassionate perspective. Silence allows us to refrain from contributing to the cycle of negativity and instead focus on the positive qualities and strengths of those around us. Moreover, silence in these situations aligns with the Buddhist practice of mindfulness. By being mindful of our speech, we become more aware of the impact our words can have on others. This awareness helps us to choose our words carefully and to prioritize communication that fosters harmony and goodwill. The practice of silence in the face of gossip and slander is a powerful expression of ethical speech and right speech principles in Buddhism. It protects us from engaging in harmful communication, encourages self-reflection and personal growth, and promotes a culture of compassion and respect. By choosing silence, we contribute to a more positive and harmonious society, where words are used to build up rather than tear down. This mindful approach to communication helps us to live more authentically and compassionately, aligning our actions with the core values of Buddhism. Situation 3. Silence. During conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction, but how we handle it can significantly impact our relationships and overall well-being. Buddhism teaches the practice of mindful conflict resolution, which emphasizes the importance of silence during conflicts. By choosing silence, we can create a space for reflection, understanding, and constructive dialogue. This practice helps to break the cycle of reactivity and prioritize the well-being of relationships over ego-driven desires. Mindful conflict resolution. The principle of always being silent during conflicts is rooted in the concept of mindful conflict resolution. When tensions rise and emotions run high, silence serves as a powerful tool to maintain composure and clarity. It allows us to approach conflicts with a calm and centered mind, which is essential for finding peaceful and effective solutions. Cooling balm. Silence acts as a cooling balm during conflicts, helping to diffuse heated emotions and create a space for thoughtful reflection. When we choose to remain silent, we give ourselves and the other party a chance to step back from the immediate intensity of the situation. This pause can prevent impulsive reactions and allow both parties to consider their feelings and perspectives more calmly. Active listening. One of the most profound benefits of silence during conflicts is its ability to promote active listening. In the midst of a disagreement, our natural tendency is often to focus on defending our own position rather than truly hearing the other person. Silence, however, shifts our focus from speaking to listening. It encourages us to fully engage with what the other person is saying, understand their point of view, and empathize with their emotions. This deep listening can lead to greater understanding and pave the way for more meaningful and productive conversations. Breaking reactivity cycle. Conflicts often escalate because of a cycle of reactivity, where one person's anger or defensiveness triggers a similar response in the other. This back and forth can quickly spiral into a more significant confrontation, making resolution difficult. Silence interrupts this cycle of reactivity by providing a moment of pause. Instead of reacting immediately to the other person's words or actions, silence allows us to take a breath, gather our thoughts, and respond more mindfully. This break in the reactive cycle can de-escalate the situation and open the door to more constructive dialogue. Non-attachment. In conflicts, our ego often drives us to prove that we are right, win the argument, or protect our sense of self. This attachment to being right or coming out on top can hinder our ability to resolve the conflict peacefully. Buddhism teaches the importance of non-attachment, which involves letting go of our ego-driven desires and focusing on the well-being of the relationship. By choosing silence, we prioritize the health and harmony of our relationships over the need to satisfy our ego. This shift in focus can lead to more compassionate and collaborative conflict resolution. In practice, silence during conflict is not about avoiding or suppressing our feelings. It is about creating a mindful space where emotions can be processed and perspectives can be considered without the pressure of immediate response. Silence allows us to approach conflicts with a spirit of openness and curiosity rather than defensiveness or aggression. It helps us to see beyond our own needs and consider the needs and feelings of others, fostering a sense of mutual respect and understanding. Furthermore, silence can serve as a form of self-care during conflicts. It gives us the opportunity to reflect on our own emotions and reactions, understand their roots, and address them with mindfulness and compassion. This self-awareness can lead to greater emotional resilience and a more balanced approach to conflict resolution. The practice of silence during conflicts is a powerful tool for mindful conflict resolution. It serves as a cooling balm that diffuses heated emotions, promotes active listening, breaks the cycle of reactivity, and prioritizes the well-being of relationships over ego-driven desires. By embracing silence in moments of conflict, we can navigate disagreements with greater wisdom, empathy and understanding, leading to more peaceful and harmonious interactions. Situation 4. Silence in witnessing suffering. Witnessing the suffering of others can be a deeply challenging experience. Our instinctive response is often to offer words of comfort or advice in an attempt to alleviate their pain. However, Buddhism teaches that sometimes the most compassionate response is to remain silent. By choosing silence, we provide a compassionate presence, offer solace, respect the autonomy of the suffering individual, and adhere to the principle of right speech. Compassionate presence. The directive to always be silent when witnessing the suffering of others is rooted in the concept of compassionate presence. When someone is in pain, our presence alone can be incredibly comforting. Silence allows us to be fully present with the individual, offering our support without the distraction of words. This silent presence communicates that we are there for them, that we acknowledge their pain, and that we are willing to share in their suffering without trying to fix or minimize it. Offering solace. Silence can be a powerful way to offer solace to someone who is suffering. Words, even well-intentioned ones, can sometimes fall short or inadvertently cause more distress. In contrast, silence communicates empathy and a willingness to listen without judgment. It creates a safe space where the person can express their emotions freely, knowing that they are not being judged or rushed. This non-verbal support can be profoundly healing, allowing the individual to process their pain in their own time and way. Respect for autonomy. When we choose silence in the face of another's suffering, we show respect for their autonomy and capacity to navigate their own pain. Every individual's experience of suffering is unique, and their path to healing is personal. By remaining silent, we acknowledge that they are the best judges of what they need in that moment. This respect for their autonomy can empower them, reinforcing their sense of agency and control during a difficult time. Right speech in suffering. The principle of right speech, which emphasizes speaking truthfully, kindly, and beneficially, is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. When witnessing suffering, sometimes silence is the kindest and most appropriate response. There are moments when words can seem hollow or insufficient, and silence can convey a depth of compassion that words cannot match. By choosing silence, we ensure that we do not inadvertently say something that might be hurtful or dismissive. It allows us to be fully present and supportive without the risk of causing additional pain. In practice, silence when witnessing suffering is not about disengaging or being indifferent. It is about creating a space where the individual feels safe and supported. This silent support can be more powerful than any words, providing a sense of companionship and understanding. It allows the person to express their pain, knowing that they are being heard and held in a compassionate space. Furthermore, silence can also be a form of active listening. By choosing not to speak, we focus entirely on the suffering person, giving them our full attention. This deep listening can help us to better understand their needs and offer more appropriate support when the time is right. It shows that we are truly present and engaged, and that we value their experience and emotions. Situation 5. Silence in personal suffering. Personal suffering is an inevitable part of the human experience, and how we navigate these difficult moments can profoundly impact our emotional and spiritual well-being. Buddhism teaches that in times of personal suffering, silence can be a powerful and healing practice. By choosing silence, we cultivate self-compassion, create a sanctuary for introspection, connect with our inner strength, and deepen our understanding of the transient and interconnected nature of suffering. Self-compassion. The principle of always being silent during personal suffering is rooted in the practice of self-compassion. In moments of pain or distress, our natural inclination might be to seek external validation or comfort. However, Buddhism encourages us to turn inward and offer ourselves the same kindness and empathy we would extend to others. Silence allows us to sit with our suffering without judgment, acknowledging our pain and giving ourselves permission to feel it fully. This self-compassionate approach can be incredibly healing, fostering a sense of acceptance and care for ourselves in times of hardship. Sanctuary for introspection. Silence provides a much-needed sanctuary for introspection during personal suffering. It creates a space where we can process our emotions and thoughts without the noise of external distractions or the pressure to articulate our pain to others. In this quiet space, we can explore the depths of our feelings, understanding their origins and impacts. This introspective practice helps us to gain clarity and insight into our suffering, allowing us to navigate it more mindfully and with greater resilience. Connecting with inner strength. Silence in personal suffering also offers an opportunity to connect with our inner strength and wisdom. When we allow ourselves to be silent, we can tune into our inner resources and discover the resilience and wisdom that lie within us. This connection to our inner self can provide a source of comfort and guidance, helping us to navigate our suffering with greater equanimity and grace. Through silence, we can explore our capacities for healing and growth, recognizing that we have the strength to endure and overcome our challenges. Understanding suffering. One of the profound insights that silence can bring during personal suffering is a deeper understanding of the nature of suffering itself. Buddhism teaches that suffering is an inherent part of life, but it is also transient and interconnected with the broader human experience. By sitting in silence with our pain, we can come to see it not as a permanent state, but as a passing experience. This recognition can help us to find a sense of peace and acceptance, knowing that our suffering, like all things, will change and evolve. Furthermore, silence allows us to explore the interconnectedness of our suffering with the world around us. We can reflect on how our pain is linked to the broader tapestry of life, understanding that we are not alone in our experiences. This perspective can foster a sense of empathy and compassion for ourselves and others, reinforcing the Buddhist principle of interconnectedness and the shared nature of human existence. In practice, silence during personal suffering is not about isolating ourselves or avoiding our pain. It is about creating a mindful space where we can engage with our suffering in a constructive and compassionate way. Silence allows us to process our emotions, gain insights, and connect with our inner strength, leading to a deeper understanding and acceptance of our experiences. The practice of silence during personal suffering is a powerful tool for cultivating self-compassion, introspection, inner strength, and understanding. By embracing silence, we create a sanctuary where we can acknowledge our pain without judgment, explore our inner resources, and gain insights into the transient and interconnected nature of suffering. This mindful approach helps us to navigate our challenges with greater resilience and grace, fostering a deeper sense of peace and acceptance. Through silence, we learn to embrace our suffering as an integral part of our journey, leading to personal growth and spiritual awakening. It can build trust and intimacy as the suffering person feels seen and understood on a profound level. This connection can be a vital source of strength and comfort, helping them to navigate their pain with a sense of companionship and solidarity. The practice of silence in witnessing suffering is a profound expression of compassion and respect. It provides a compassionate presence, offers solace, respects the autonomy of the suffering individual, and adheres to the principle of right speech. By choosing silence, we create a safe and supportive space for the individual to express and process their pain. This mindful approach helps to alleviate suffering in a gentle and respectful manner, fostering a deeper connection and understanding between us and those we seek to support. Silence, as explored through the lens of Buddhism, holds transformative power in 5 crucial situations: anger, gossip and slander, conflict, witnessing suffering, and personal suffering. By embracing silence in these moments, we can cultivate mindful compassion and foster significant personal growth. The intentional practice of silence allows us to create the necessary space to listen, reflect, and respond with wisdom, thereby enhancing our interactions and relationships. Transformative power. The practice of silence in the aforementioned situations is not about passivity, but about active engagement with our emotions and thoughts. Silence offers us a chance to step back from immediate reactions and consider our responses more thoughtfully. This mindfulness leads to deeper compassion as we become more attuned to the needs and feelings of ourselves and others. The ability to pause and reflect transforms potentially destructive situations into opportunities for growth and understanding. Intentional choice. Choosing silence is an intentional act that signifies a commitment to mindful living. It is about creating space within ourselves to process our experiences without the immediate clutter of words. This space is where true reflection and wisdom can emerge. By consciously deciding to remain silent, we give ourselves the opportunity to respond to situations in a way that aligns with our values and principles. This intentional choice empowers us to navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and insight. Harmonious living. Practicing silence contributes significantly to harmonious living. In moments of anger, silence prevents us from saying things we might regret. In the face of gossip and slander, silence stops the spread of negativity. During conflicts, silence creates a buffer that allows for cooler heads to prevail. When witnessing suffering, silence offers compassionate presence without judgment. In our own suffering, silence provides a sanctuary for healing and introspection. In all these scenarios, silence minimizes harm and fosters a deeper understanding, leading to more harmonious interactions and relationships. Path to enlightenment. Buddhism teaches that silence is a crucial aspect of the path to enlightenment. It aids in self-discovery by allowing us to turn inward and explore our inner landscapes. Through silence, we gain insights into the nature of our thoughts and emotions, and we begin to understand the transient and interconnected nature of all things. This self-awareness is a cornerstone of personal transformation, helping us to move closer to the ideals of mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. By alleviating unnecessary suffering, both our own and that of others, silence paves the way for a more enlightened existence. Essential nature of silence. Silence is as essential to our well-being as air and light. It provides the mental and emotional space needed for a mindful and authentic life. Just as we need air to breathe and light to see, we need silence to think clearly and to understand ourselves and our place in the world. In a society that often equates noise with productivity and activity with success, the practice of silence is a radical and necessary counterbalance. It reminds us of the value of stillness and the importance of inner peace. The practice of silence, as advocated by Buddhist teachings, is a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of life. It leads to mindful compassion, personal growth, and harmonious living. Silence helps us to discover our true selves, to transform our interactions, and to alleviate suffering. By embracing silence, we create the conditions for a more peaceful and authentic existence, aligning our lives with the principles of mindfulness and compassion. Just as we rely on air and light, we should also recognize the profound necessity of silence in our journey toward enlightenment and fulfillment. I invite you to embrace the wisdom of silence in your daily lives. Whether you are dealing with anger, witnessing suffering, caught in conflict, facing gossip, or experiencing personal pain, let silence be your guide. Allow it to create a sanctuary within, where you can process your emotions, gain clarity, and connect with your inner strength.